Glossy Black-Cockatoos are the smallest members of the genus Calyptorhynchus, which includes the red-tailed, yellow-tailed, short and long-billed black-cockatoos. When they're feeding, apart from their creaking calls, they're quite inconspicuous until they flash their brilliant scarlet tails. The species is sexually dimorphic. In this family group, the bird on the left, mostly black but with a brown head and striking red tail panels, is the male. The female in the centre is browner with a yellow collar, and that's their juvenile offspring on the right. The species was scientifically described way back in 1807 by the Dutch zoologist Conrad Jacob Temminck, and the scientific name he gave it, Lathami, honours a contemporary, the English ornithologist John Latham. Glossy black-cockatoos were also amongst the first Australian birds to be illustrated by European artists. This watercolour was painted in 1789 by midshipman George Raper, who'd arrived at Botany Bay the previous year with the first fleet. And Sarah Stone, a respected zoological illustrator, painted this in 1790, clearly from a specimen that had reached England on one of the returning First Fleet vessels. Interestingly, both images are of female cockatoos. The range of the glossy black cockatoo is confined almost entirely to the forested areas of Australia's east coast, where two subspecies are recognised, but there's also a small outriding population, a third subspecies, on Kangaroo Island in South Australia. Glossies are often mistaken for a closely related species, the red-tailed black cockatoo, but these are larger. Female red-tailed blacks have barred chests and black heads, and the head and wings are spotted yellow. The male is black and has a distinct crest. The red tails are distributed much more widely across the continent than the glossies. Glossy black cockatoos feed almost entirely on the tiny seeds of sheoaks, casuarina and aloe-casuarina tree species, but they're also fond of wood-boring larvae. They mate for life, with pairs maintaining their bond all year round. They usually breed only every second year. The female lays a single egg in a tree hollow and doesn't leave the nest to feed herself until after the newly hatched nestling is a week old. The male feeds the female and the nestling throughout the incubation and brooding period. Once fledged, the offspring is fed by both parents for up to 4 months and remains with them until the next breeding season. The species is regarded as vulnerable by the New South Wales, Victorian and Queensland governments and endangered in South Australia, and that's mainly due to the reduction of the casuarina and aloe-casuarina-rich forest habitats on which glossy black cockatoos depend.